Hey everyone, thank you for stopping by Living to Do's review of Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 5. Take Me Down to Paradise City. Before I get started with this review, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. So let's talk about this particular episode. Let's get started with Claire and Cameron. These two are still not gelling the way newlyweds would. Even the ones that don't know each other, they just seem a little standoffish. And I think that's more of Claire's issue. I don't think she's particularly comfortable with Cameron. And maybe it's a lack of attraction. They had a conversation that we were not privy to. It was about intimacy, and after the conversation, Cameron is more confused in where he stands in the relationship. He's not feeling a type of energy or a feeling of comfort and safety with Claire. She jokes about his fashion. I think he was a little sensitive to that. And I think guys play it off because you always kid around with the guy, and maybe they are sensitive to those things. They just can't, pout about it because they I guess they think they feel look like a wimp or something. They made little jabs, and from the way they edited it, she started it. Uh, well, no, not really. I think what he says was he was asking her a question like, "Are you still in school?" But I think it came off like, "Are you still in school?" Like questioning what's taking so long. And then she said something, "Oh, you fix spikes," minimizing what he does. And I think honestly, he didn't try to take a jab, but she just took it the wrong way and came back with the jab. So she's, what I'm really surprised at is that she's a therapist and she's not finding common ground to connect with the next person. It just seems like if you're a therapist, you know how this works. Um, or maybe it's just energy. Even though she's a therapist, you're not going to like everybody that you encounter. But she just seems like it's a no for her. Um, they had a dinner, and he wanted that to be a start of something special for that night. I think maybe going towards the intimacy route, which makes sense. And she doesn't give off that same type of energy, so he doesn't want to pursue it. And they have different views on life. She thinks you need to work hard to get what you want, and he pretty much thinks that, there's no need to work hard. You just have to be in the right place at the right time. So, totally different, but she should be more accepting of other people's views because she ought to know, and in being a therapist, not everybody's going to be the same, not going to have the same thought patterns, uh, views on life. So it's just, they're a little interesting. Nothing is happening, and the poor guy is frustrated. That's what I think on those two. Okay, on to the next couple. Next couple will be Becca and Austin. Interesting about this couple, I thought I would be witnessing more wild scenes, over the top things with Becca, the way she acts. And the pace that they're going is comfortable. They're getting along. The chummy. They vibe. Things doesn't There doesn't seem to be an issue with them. They're very relaxed in their time together. It's almost like they had been dating. They don't seem like strangers, really. They talked about kids, and Austin wants to wait about 3 years to have kids. And Becca, she could have them or not. she's not really pulled one way or another. She thinks it's pretty much in her partner's court. But there is that issue, her health issues, if she can even have kids. And we're finding out she's not feeling well on the trip, on her honeymoon. Um, we didn't see them with too many activities. She wasn't in the pool because of some health issues. She did go no, they went kayaking. And she's out there paddling that kayak with her arms. So I'm not sure where her discomfort is. But I'm glad she's able to have some type of activity with him, and him too. He seems adventurous, so it would really be boring not to do anything. Though he's in the confessionals and he's talking about that he is okay to sacrifice himself for someone else, and he says he's excited to do it, but when he's telling or talking about it in the confessional, his voice, his tone doesn't seem excited at all. It seems a little down. So I don't know if that was just something they cut out and edited weird, because what was coming out of his mouth didn't match the tone at all. We learned that Becca doesn't drink. As wild as she gets, he could have fooled me. But good for her, she doesn't drink. But I guess he drinks, and she's not going to stop him from drinking. She wants him to have a good time. And she had another issue with anxiety, overwhelming anxiety, and she's getting past it now. She couldn't even really, I forgot where she couldn't go. I think grocery stores even. And she's over that. So I don't know. I think before, when I saw her and I said she was overcompensating for stuff, um, before she got married and during her wedding, maybe it was the health issue. She was afraid to discuss it and wanted to be liked and uh, remembered in a happy-go-lucky type of way before she poured on this bad information about her health. I don't know. She just seems totally different than what she was at the wedding and how she is at the honeymoon. So either she's really not feeling well, which is sad, or something else. And she's more interesting to me now, seeing another side of her. So, okay, on to the next. So next couple is Emily and Brennan. Their relationship seems to be going okay. We learn they're taking showers together, partially nude, so PG showers, she said. And I guess she stepped out of the shower to get something, and I'm sure she was wet, turned the corner and fell, and apparently broke her arm or hand. But she's a trooper. She's still doing all the activities. She doesn't look like she's in pain. She doesn't act like it. And he seems to be a very good influence on her already. He seems mature with his spending. He lives below his means. Great. Um, she spends too much money. She works really, really hard, and whatever she does makes a lot of money, but she seems to turn around and spend it. And she wants to do better by her money, and he is going to take a look at her finances um, and see what she should be doing better to hold on to money. Um, and she wants a routine. So this guy seems like he's very routine. He's very set in his ways, mature with his finances, so it seems. But girls, don't let guys into your finances all that quickly. You got to really trust a person to do that. You just don't, you know, want someone to get a hold of some information and you don't know them that well, and no telling what they'll do. You don't want an Ernesto. And if you know who that is, then you know. But so far, he just seems, I don't know what he does for a living, but he seems like a financial guy. And some of his ways of doing things, saving money and everything like that, can be very beneficial for this girl. So if if he's not in your finances, maybe he can just give you some advice, information, and I'm sure stop spending and living below your means. That would be a big adjustment for someone who is on the go, spends money to calm down and get into a routine and mature up. Um, and she's going to be doing this from her younger husband. She's taking shots, drinking more than he is. I don't know how he, I want to know how he feels about her drinking. Um, she loves to party. She is, I guess, a party girl in college. Totally looks like it. Uh, so a change in lifestyle so quickly. I don't know how she's going to be able to adjust, if that's going to be a problem. And drinking and all that. I mean, it's nice on the honeymoon, but this is giving me flashbacks of um, what was her name? Victoria, was it? And Eric from one of the past seasons, and she was a party girl. She was at her wedding. It looked like she came in to her wedding with the night before makeup on, just drinking up a storm and drinking. He was a pilot too. Had him drinking. Though they are known to drink, but that's giving me flashbacks of that. Hanging out with this guy, he doesn't seem like the biggest drinker. I understand his dad. I think they're Russians, and all the dad drinks is vodka, but this guy doesn't really seem like the type. So we're gonna see how they adjust. Um, she's giving him the lead on intimacy in their relationship. She said she'll give him the lead on the sex. So I don't know. I guess it's his call, and he wants to wait. Once again, more mature, because he knows it can ruin a relationship if done too soon. So I didn't know if I was going to like Brennan as much as I do right now, but he does have a temper, and he does mention that. So I think we're going to see more of that in the later episodes, and that's going to be a big turnoff. Okay, on to the next couple. Last couple is Lauren and Oren. This couple, they just seem very sensual. They show a lot of soft, sensual scenes of this couple, and I'm enjoying it. I think Lauren is really, they're actually taken to one another. They really seem to have a chemistry with one another, and it's just really nice to see. And all the beautiful shots of them in the water, kissing, being close. It's really nice, and it's nice to see that for Oren. He just seemed like the skinny guy, really a soft man, but it's really he's soft and sensual, so good for him. He really likes Lauren. He believes that she has a warm aura. Okay, he's really connected that way. I guess being Native American Indian, you're connected to spirit and energy, and he's just the way he speaks to her is so kind to everyone. Just very, very nice. I think he's a little bit too agreeable at first. Um, they talk about having children. She says one kid. She'll give birth to one and maybe adopt, and he's open to that. He's open to everything. He's just really open. Um, but it can't always be that way. But when it's new, I just see him being that passive guy, almost agreeing to everything she says. Um, One thing that he wants to take care of the household. I guess they had a conversation where he wants it to be 80-20, like 80% of the finances he will take care of for the household, and she'll take care of 20, which and not right now, but in due time, he says. I think there's still an issue that we're going to uncover more information about with his current financial situation, not being licensed electrician, his trade, his skill in the state that he currently lives in. And I think he's in school to be a real estate agent. So that sounds like a lot of in between. So I don't know where those checks are going to come from right now. Um, he they're very playful, and I don't know what this is. Is this going to be a hair tutorial? going on at Married at First Sight. Lauren is going to go lay her edges down, and he goes, "Oh, I want to see you put your edges down." Just so cute. But the verbiage is so funny coming from him. But she shows him how she takes care of her hair. He was on the bonnet, and now he's watching her lay her edges down, and he wants to get more familiar with the culture. He's interested and he's just learning, and I think he wants her to be receptive to his culture and learn like he's learning, interested to learn. So we haven't seen her even tip in that area at all, but so far he's he's uh he's glued in, he's tapped into the hair routine. It's kind of cute. And she wants to know little bit about his routine, his manscaping, and we learned that he is low and soft, and the soft is some type of product or somebody or something that somebody clued him in on. So that's interesting that you bring that to our attention. So she asked him questions like, you know, have you ever used the N word? And he copped to it. He says, yeah, in the past he did. He was young, he was ignorant. Someone sat him down, I believe it was his mother, and discussed why that word should not be used. Um, and then they talked about, some biases in the culture, between the cultures, and the topic of redskin came up. And I guess I didn't know much about it. I knew it was a football team and they tried to change the name. I think they finally did. And she's like, "What does that even mean?" And she looked up and she kind of giggled. "Oh, you look at you. I say that, and you have red skin right now, like he's been in the sun." And he took total offense to that. The way he looked at her, he that was not funny. He stood up for himself. And I honestly though, oh God, I don't even know. A lot of people without melanin they get red. Um, but saying that to a Native American Indian, because of what it meant about, I think he said something about scalping, Indians. These are human beings, and that was a value to the um, the people who stole the land. So it's something that it's a terrible thing for them. I forgot he explained it, but yeah, when you're abused, we just don't know these things. And we even had a whole football team that we bought merchandise, wore it on our backs, chanted or whatever we did, and all these years, and it was totally offensive to the Native American Indians. It's just, so inconsiderate. But we weren't educated. I have to re-listen to what was so bad about it, but it was something about scalping uh, an Indian, and that was something that people did back in the day. So she was trying to say that, in my culture, we make fun of our shortcomings pretty much, and he doesn't think that's funny. And I can't lie, I've laughed 100 times over what people say and joke about. That could hurt someone, about body parts and things like that. And we just overlook it, but we are actually hurting people. And he says, you're minimizing who you are. And he's exactly right. He is exactly right. We should not be doing that. Just everything that we say about people's flaws, and it can be very, very hurtful. And you under the disguise of joking around or whatnot, laughing at your pain, but you could be causing even more pain. And that is something that we should be adjusting. It's not funny if people are really hurt behind these things. He said he was heated, and she felt that when that she wanted to know where the jokes lie and where it's not a joke when you're talking about someone's culture. And she felt that what Cameron had said uh, the prior week about getting off the reservation, not straying from the reservation, and her saying something, she thought that she let Cameron slide more than her. And he was trying to tell her it's different. It's, skinning of someone's head, scalping somebody, and a reservation joke. And it's how it's said, the tone of the joke. But I honestly don't think she meant any I don't even think she didn't even know what it really meant, and she just happened to look at him, and he happened to have red skin at the time this conversation was brought up. So, I don't know about all that. I mean, she's just to stop. Just don't just say anything about red skin or anything like that. Just skin is beautiful. Just leave it at that. Um, but I don't know about them. So far, so good. I know it's a little dust up, and they talked about it. I thought she was a little defensive when he tried to explain his side of things, but all in all, early on, their scenes were very, very cute, kissing and just having a lovely time, and him really enjoying her, and I think she enjoying him. So it was really nice to see. But that is it for now. Thanks for staying with me to the end. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. And please check out my channel. I have other videos, several Married at First Sight seasons, movie reviews, TV reviews, food, and hotel reviews. So please take a look. But that is it for now. I gotta go because I got living to do. Bye.